Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's presentation on SAP Business ByDesign, what we were able to accomplish in 2018 and what we are jointly up for in 2019. My name is Rainer Sinnow, in charge of product management for SAP Business One and SAP Business ByDesign, so I look after the majority of our mid-market solutions. This presentation I will focus on SAP Business ByDesign. As you know, our industry is moving really fast, therefore whatever I present to you now is, to the best of my knowledge, our plan. If things change, obviously we will adjust the roadmap, and I will show you later where you can always find the latest roadmap so that you know exactly what we are planning to do. Let's start with a look at the bigger picture. A lot of companies and partners have asked me, Rainer, why do you even need more than one product to serve the market? And the answer is, our customers have different buying preferences. On the one hand side, I meet companies who say, look, we are under tremendous pressure, therefore we are assembling the best possible solutions that we can get to money, and we are able to operate them because we have a skilled IT organization, we have experience in how to handle these kind of integration scenarios, and for them we offer our flagship product SAP S/4HANA S/4. S/4 is what we describe as an integrated suite. So we use as digital core S/4, and then we have the line of business solutions, be it Concur, be it Ariba, be it Fieldglass, be it Hybris. We assemble out of these components the best possible solution that we can theoretically think of. And then there's a second group of customer who tells me, look, we don't have an IT organization and we don't want to have one. So give us a solution which is as easy to consume as consuming energy. And one customer once said, imagine my capability in that area similar to somebody who has an espresso capsule, can put that capsule into the machine. I've learned if the red button is flashing, then I need to put more water into the machine, and then I press the button and then I get an excellent espresso. Obviously, these companies need something different, and for them we have our solutions which we describe as suite in a box. In the public cloud world, it is Business ByDesign. In the private cloud and in the on-premise world, it is Business One. But for these solutions, we SAP have done all of the integration between the different components. Obviously, also these solutions can be extended with other cloud or on-premise solutions, but the majority of the customers use them. So the reason why we have more than one solution in the market is to provide choice for those customers who want to go for a best-of-breed approach, for those customers who need a fully integrated solution, for those customers who rather want to go with an on-premise deployment, and for those customers who rather prefer a public cloud solution. How is the market evolving for Business ByDesign? What you can see here are the numbers for November. 5,365 companies are using Business ByDesign. The way I count is, I only count a company as somebody who has an own profit and loss statement and a balance sheet. So I only count live companies, and I only count those ones who are using financials plus other components. So the actual number is probably even a little bit higher than that, but that is the number. The really interesting number is ByDesign is used today in 144 countries around the world. So that is a great testament to the capability to globalize the solution so that customers and partners can build own country versions so that they don't completely rely on us. I would like to call out another number at the bottom, 4,449 add-ons. So our partners do an amazing job to extend Business by Design with industry-specific capabilities, with micro-industry-specific capabilities, but also with horizontal capabilities. Be it integration scenarios into third-party solutions, be it own solutions which they built on top of it. So Business by Design over the last couple of years morphed more and more from a standalone solution into a business platform on which partners are building more and more solutions to the benefit of our customers. One more slide on the usage. What you see here is how do our customers use Business by Design. And if you count, we have 12 application tiles, plus we have the add-on tile, and also companies are using more and more of these components. The key message on this slide is, yes, the public cloud journey started with, let's do a little bit of CRM in the cloud, and then let's do a little bit of human resource management in the cloud. I can tell you that this journey continues, and it's exactly the same companies who told me a couple of years ago, we don't plan to do financials in the cloud, who are exactly the same ones today who are number one live with financials in the cloud. And now they say, Rainer, we need a lot more capabilities in supply chain management. So the journey, which started with CRM and human resource management, continues with financials, and it will not stop there. So all of the logistics processes will also be done in the public cloud, and Business by Design is specifically built for this challenge. 70% of all customers are using 6 or more components. So what you can see is that a lot of companies start their journey in a specific component, that they say, I have an issue in financials, I have an issue in CRM, I have an issue in purchasing. But very soon after they've addressed that first issue, they start to run longer and longer process chains. And that is what by design is specifically good for. That is why we are so proud that companies are using it in that way. And here on this slide, you see these end-to-end processes and how companies use them. So you see 86% for procure to pay. So starting with a shopping cart, which is then converted into a purchase request, it gets approval, and then it's a purchase order, handed over to the supplier. You have the goods and receipt management. When the physical goods arrive, you then receive the supplier invoice and you handle all of the outbound payments that you want to do. Or the same thing with order to cash. And then you see 2 camps. You see the professional services camp, which is customer relationship management, financials, sourcing, and project management, tightly coupled with expense management and time recording. That is group number 1. Or you see the more logistically oriented companies, again, financials, CRM with a focus on order processing, and then all of the inbound, outbound logistics processes. And if we are talking about a manufacturing company, also the MRP requirements, so for production planning, plus the manufacturing execution solution, which then complements the entire picture, and at the end of the day also the inbound and outbound quality inspections. So that is what we see in the system. So the journey continues, the business processes get longer and longer, and the demand for an end-to-end suite in the mid-market is really there, and it's happening each and every day. If we look into what were the focus areas in 2018, you can see that we worked on topics, especially in the supply chain management area, when we specifically looked there at everything around serial number management. That was a key ask from our customers in the high-tech industry. I'm very proud of the fact that we introduced a dedicated solution of Business by Design for the public sector in the US, with focus on state and local. That is a brand new solution. It will take a while until it is fully adopted, but I believe that it was a strategic commitment also to the public sector, because the public sector finds it very difficult to get the human resources in the market that they would need to operate systems of their own. Therefore, a public cloud solution is the perfect answer, and therefore that was key. Collection management was one of the requirements. A lot of companies had asked, help us with a solution on financial consolidation. We've added that through an integration. And we publish now all of the ByDesign web services on the SAP API Hub. So there's just one place to go if you search for an API, api.sap.com, search for Business ByDesign. You will find there the integration packages, as well as you find there all of the information about our APIs. Globalization and compliance. Yes, this is a constant struggle. At least 30% of the development resources flow into that area. A super big thank you to all of my colleagues in India and Germany and around the world who make sure that we understand what local legislation requires and that we make these capabilities available. It started off with the new financial accounting standard, IFRS 15, key for companies all around the world, but also very much so in the United States. Now that we have IFRS 15 available, IFRS 16 is coming live January 1st. So with the November release of ByDesign, we shipped the first capabilities around IFRS 16, which you will need to handle all of your leasing contract and long-term leases. So we provide those capabilities also as part of Business ByDesign. Europe's data privacy regulation was really the big topic for 2018. We are not yet, or we meet all of the legal standards without any doubt, but we know of a couple of capabilities that we would provide, we would like to provide you with. So this will also, you will see more and more capabilities running into 2019. This is also very strategic for us because China is coming up with the China cybersecurity law, which is in many regards similar to what Europe did with GDPR. So a lot of work in that area. And then we worked on country-specific topics. Goods and services tax for India was a key theme already in 17, but also in 18. The UK digital tax was a new requirement. ByDesign is certified by the government so that we meet all of the requirements there. And last but not least, we worked a lot on requirements for Italy to make sure that we have a good solution there. Last but not least, something which is very close to my heart is the whole topic of enablement. I always say a line of code is just cost unless you find a way to explain it to people how to use it. My instrument of choice are the open SAP courses. There are 6 available now, and we will see more courses and re-recordings of the extension course and the analytics course in 2019. Go to open.sap.com, search for Business ByDesign. If you want to build up knowledge about Business ByDesign, that is the way how to do it. You can attend these courses free of charge, and you can build up the knowledge that you need to contribute in this market. Therefore, absolutely key. And for the partners out there, we also added a lot of so-called level 3 courses, which is in-depth know-how on specific topics. And last but not least, we put a lot of energy into the ByDesign community, where we have lively discussions on how to do things in the best possible way. We support 19 countries out of the box with Business ByDesign very soon, as of February 2019. So with a 1902 release, we will add Israel. So Israel will come out of controlled availability into a general availability state. Yes, there are many more things that could be localized, but we believe that that version, together with our colleagues from Israel, is sufficient to be successful in the market. And we support 12 languages. In addition, we focus on SAP pre-localized countries. We did a lot of work also with South Korea. So these versions need additional effort from the partners before it can be implemented. And last but not least, we offer for more than 115 country text basic content, which really makes it easier for the customers and partners also to implement business by design, for example, in many African nations or Southeast Asian nations where you see the real growth of the global economy. So globalization is also a key focus for us in 2019 and a key enabler for the success of business by design. One more focus area for 2019 was analytics. When I sit together with customers and ask them, what is the most important thing that you would like to get out of ByDesign? They simply tell me better decisions. Better decisions is the key thing that the companies want to have. And to drive better decisions, you need the best possible analytics solution. ByDesign has and always had a great built-in capability, but we wanted to work specifically in two dimensions. Number one, companies are managed by key performance indicators. Whether we now like it or not, that is the way how it is. If you accept this fact, then you need an environment where you can easily create your own KPIs. I can deliver a lot out of the box, but companies are unique, and the management team has their own ideas about which KPIs they would like to see. So you must be able to design them. You must be able to create variants of it. You must be able to create overview pages with KPIs. And from the KPI, you need to be able to drill into the details. So that was a key thing for 2018, to build out these capabilities that we can nicely visualize these KPIs, and you will see it in a live demo in a couple of seconds. The second topic which is important is, especially if you use longer and longer process chains, it doesn't help you that you have a data source here, a data source here, and a data source here. You need the cross view. You need a few fields from this data source, a few fields from this data source, and a few fields from that data source. In the past, this was close to black magic to join data sources. We really, in 2018, made it simple in business by design that you see which data sources are available. And if you pick one data source, the system even proposes to you which the next data source may be that you may be interested in. It makes sure that the right linking is done between the data sources, that you can create a chain of data sources. Then you select the fields that you need. And based on these fields, you can then build your reports, your KPIs, and whatever else you need. And you can also consume these new data sources via the OData interface, for example, with external applications. So therefore, the adapt, join, define, and expose capability for data sources was a key enabler for us in 2018. Last but not least, mobile applications are at the center of what we do. I see that more and more interactions are coming into business by design via mobile applications. Therefore, it was key for us to update our applications. Number one, we were able to sunset our Silverlight UI and transition fully into the HTML5 UI. But at the same time, it was also key to update our iOS and Android applications. So please reach out to them. They don't cost you anything extra. If you have access to Business by Design, you're also entitled to use all of the mobile applications which we provide for you. And there you really have the power of Business by Design at your fingertips on your iPhone or on your Android device. So, looking into 2019. Maybe one overall slide on how do we actually build roadmap. A big part of the roadmap building process that my teams do is that they stay in touch with our customers and partners. The way how our customers and partners influence the roadmap is done via the so-called influence requests. There is a dedicated portal where every customer, every partner can say, I'm missing this in Business by Design, or I'm missing that in Business by Design. And all customers and partners can see what has been proposed. And everybody can vote for the own suggestions, but also for the suggestions of others. Every line item that gets more than 15 votes, and by the way, I know that by now there are also voting clubs in ByDesign. You vote for my stuff, I vote for your stuff, but that's okay. Every line item that gets more than 15 votes, the product management team takes a look at it and comes back to you with an answer. It's already in the solution. Here is a workaround. Sorry, this is so specific, we won't be able to put that into the roadmap for Business by Design, or we put it onto the roadmap of Business by Design. I always say, don't send me any emails with cool ideas about what we should do in ByDesign. Put it into the portal. That's where everybody can see it. That is the right way how we do it. And you can see here on the slide how many of these influence requests we have delivered with the different releases and by component. So it's worth the effort. We check out everything that you put in there, which goes beyond the threshold of the 15 votes. So that is the way how you influence the ByDesign roadmap. To give you one example, I talked about the journey that started with CRM in the cloud, human resource management in the cloud. And I can see now the demand building up for really strong supply chain management capabilities. The good news, when ByDesign got designed, we said in the very first minute, you can't bolt a supply chain management solution on at a later point in time, because whatever you do in a logistics process always has a financial mirror. So to get this linkage done, we put the right infrastructure in place. But when it now comes to more advanced capabilities, like subcontracting, consignment stock, planned landed cost, this is something we are very happy to invest in, but we need to see the market demand. And what starts now is that we see this market demand. Is this something that I can deliver overnight? Unfortunately, no. So it will take some time. You can see here on this slide, these are the top 9 topics which we see when we interact with customers via our customer influence portal. And you see certain topics where we've already worked on. So we've already worked on topic number 2, the serial number management, and in YouTube and in our SAP community, there are blog posts from Stefan Resak about this topic. Number 7, Microsoft Excel upload for inventory count. Yes, this is something we will focus on in 2019. Also, the extended availability check scope is something that we have on the roadmap. Other topics like 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9, that will take more time. Therefore, we have, in addition to the 12-month roadmap, we have a 3 years roadmap. I would like to deliver them as fast as possible, but as always in life, the development resources are limited, and there's also a certain sequence which we should adhere to. But just to signal to you, yes, we are carefully listening. Yes, we see the trends. And we put that into our roadmap. So that is the way how we build roadmap based on the feedback that we get from our customers. The second aspect is to stay on top of what is going on with corporate research, with all of the technology teams in SAP. And those of you who follow SAP a bit more know the term of the intelligent enterprise. 2018, 2019, we suddenly have technologies available to us at a feasible price that we didn't have before. And that means for us that we can now take advantage of new services that we don't need to build into Business by Design. When you, for example, say, we need more advanced planning capabilities, we need more advanced budgeting capabilities. This does not necessarily translate into a development request in ByDesign, but I can integrate with SAP Analytics Cloud to do that. When you say, Rainer, I would like to write information about my serialized products in a blockchain so that the end consumer can be 100% certain that this is the original spare part, then this is something that we can deliver. So SAP commits to you to deliver the digital core, which is Business by Design, to deliver all of the intelligent technologies which are required, plus to deliver the extension platform, which is SAP Cloud Platform. Therefore, what I ask my teams to do is to really understand in a great level of detail what is artificial intelligence all about? What is machine learning all about? What is deep learning all about? What is data science all about? And to assess all of these technologies, because most mid-market companies are not interested at all in an academic discussion, but they want to leverage these capabilities. And for them, it is key to know that we spend a lot of time to really assess each and every piece of technology available to us, and then to transition it into something which becomes part of the roadmap. And one good area where you can see what we are doing is in the field of analytics. You can separate analytics a little bit in two clusters. One is called business intelligence. We know that for many years. And the built-in analytics of Business by Design is just great. There's close to nothing that you can't do business analytics-wise there. But we also have a second area, and that is the forward-looking dimension. The forward-looking dimension requires advanced statistical methods, requires a lot of things that 10 or 15 years ago you even needed a water-cooled IBM mainframe to do these kind of computations. And today we can provide these capabilities via SAP Analytics Cloud. So again, an example that I don't need to put everything into the kernel of ByDesign, but that I can directly use it. And that's what I would like to show you now in a short demo, so that you see in the ByDesign 1811 system. So I'm not demoing here a future system, I'm demoing what all of our customers have available today. So what we have here is the Launchpad, and you see one KPI here, on time, in full delivery. That's a typical logistical KPI. It's nothing else than you commit to deliver at a certain date, and you commit to deliver with just one shipment. And the question is, how good are you to live up to that promise? And as you can see, and that is the way how we visualize KPIs now in Business by Design, the target is 95%. Over the last 5 weeks, we accomplished 92%. Last year, we were at 86%. We are a bit behind our plan, but we are on our way up. So that in itself is good. What you can in addition do here is that you can say, I don't want to see it as a chart, I want to have the detailed view. And if you now say, I need to analyze the data a bit further, well, it is sufficient if you press on the Analyze button. In the Analyze button, in the first screen, you can select the data that you want to work on. The second view is even more important to me. I've explained it in previous videos. I said I've given up years ago that a customer will ever like a report which I ship. The customers always look at the report and say, yes, very interesting, but I'm not interested in the sales unit. So what you can do in Business by Design, you simply say, okay, what do I want to do? Do I need to see the sales unit? No, just take the check mark away. And if you want to see, for example, the order ID here in that list, well, then just put it in, create a bit more space, and you can see here all of the orders. And you see here that, for example, for your customer Silver Star Wholesale, something didn't work out as expected. And what you can do now is you can directly navigate through to the sales order list. In our example, it is just one sales order. So if we click here once more, then I've navigated now from a top-level KPI down to a detailed report, and now I am in the document where the customer says the requested date is the 28th of April. The order got created on the 27th. And so let's see what happened. And if you click on the More button, you see here in a second, here is the sales order, and you already see the root cause why we missed it. We needed 2 shipments to meet the customer's requirement. We did the first shipment very good on the 27th, the date when we created the order, but we needed a second shipment on the 30th. So that is an example where you can see from a top-level KPI right down to the individual sales document how the whole thing works. So I did all of that in Business by Design, and that was basically the left side of the business intelligence part. Now let me switch back to my Launchpad and show you how we use SAP Analytics Cloud also in a by design environment. And therefore, I go to my On-Time in Full dashboard that my team put together for me. And now we are using SAP Analytics Cloud. Let me make this a bit bigger so that you can see it. Here you have now exactly the same data. You have our 742 orders which we processed, and we see that 92 orders did not work out as expected. Exactly the same number that you saw before. So what can you do differently now is you can do a right mouse click and click on this light bulb. And now the system calculates for you what are parameters which influence your ability to ship. And I just pick out one here. If the sales representative is Bob Manson, the likelihood that something goes wrong is 274% higher compared to the average, which simply means, Bob, let's have a chat, be a bit less aggressive on the committed delivery timelines, and we will be in a better shape here. So that just as one example, what you can do with SAP Analytics Cloud. Other things that you can do very nicely is, for example, in the area of sales prediction, here you see our historic sales numbers, and the system is now calculating a forecast based on your preferences, which kind of algorithm you want to use. If you have your own algorithms which matter to you, you can implement them in the dedicated programming language R, and then see this funnel here at the end, which gives you the likelihood of how revenue may develop. And if you have a management team which is very picky about how their dashboard should look like, SAP Analytics Cloud is an amazing visualization tool that you can use in a by design environment. With SAP Analytics Cloud, you can do the visualization of the advanced analytical capabilities, and with Business by Design Analytics, you have the built-in business intelligence. What we will do during 2019 is that we add KPIs along the business processes. You know this visualization from the Business Scenario Explorer. Shouldn't you know it, go to help.sap.com, search for Business by Design. On the landing page on the right side, you have the Scenario Explorer where you can see all of the business processes that we support is. And what we are doing now is that we add KPIs to the different processes, so that we can also answer, for example, questions like how long does it take an average between an order gets entered in the system and we have the money in our bank account. So these end-to-end KPIs, we believe, will be very important for our customers, and that is what we will focus on in 2019. High-level overview, what we are working on in the 1811 release, which you received in November. A key thing for me at least was the ability to support the new financial accounting standard IFRS 16, which is effective as of January 1st. That was key. 1902, we will start to extend the capabilities in the area of You have a production master record, and we want to have extension fields on there. That is something that a lot of customers and partners have asked for. Also, more and more customers are using Business ByDesign in combination with SuccessFactors Employee Central. That was already available since quite a while when you set up ByDesign and SuccessFactors, that they work nicely together. What we are adding now is the capability you're live with ByDesign for a while, and you introduce at a later point in time SuccessFactors so that we make sure that we properly exchange all of the information. Also, one more topic here is the integration between Business ByDesign and SAP Hybris Revenue Cloud. More and more companies come to me and tell me that they want to change their business model. That's something which they physically sold in the past. They now want to create, they now want to offer as a service. Therefore, you need a contract management, you need the capability to integrate with IoT scenarios, whatever you name it. Therefore, Hybris Revenue Cloud is a great instrument to model that business process and then use ByDesign as the billing engine and financial management engine there. I don't have the time to talk you through all of the details, what we are planning here. You can find the ByDesign roadmap at www.sap.com/roadmaps, and you then search for Business ByDesign. ByDesign will do it. And you have here the ByDesign roadmap and one of the webinars. And here you find all of the details about what we are planning for the next 12 months with Business ByDesign, plus a lot of background information on that solution. With that, I hope I gave you a rough first idea on what we are planning to do. So also 2019, the focus will be keep ByDesign compliant. That's the non-negotiable part number one. Add new business capabilities, and you've seen what we are planning in the different areas. We will deliver new analytical content because I had the opportunity a few times this year to sit down with real end users and watch how they are using ByDesign. And have I seen on any of those screens KPIs or reports? No. Therefore, we will publish more and more content. If you would like to adapt the content, you've seen in my short demo how easy it is, so please do that. But we want to make these capabilities available for you. And with that, thanks a lot for your attention. Thanks a lot for the great business we were able to do with you in 2018, and looking forward working with you in 2019. To all of my partners, please join me at the upcoming innovation summits, which we will hold in Asia, in Europe, and in the Americas, where we can have more detailed discussion about what we are doing. With that, thanks a lot, and see you in 2019.